Good morning, everybody. I'm so excited the sun is shining. We get to play outside today, go for a good walk. Hi, Jose. I'm going to Jose's house today to read him stories, and it's such a nice day. I'm so excited. Who else is here? Hi, Emerson. Hi, Charlie. Hi, Maggie. Hi, Penny. All right, so many friends here today. I wore my full buckets shirt today. My bucket's feeling full. I get to go see Jose and we get to sit outside. I'm so excited. I didn't get to see Charlie yesterday for two reasons, two problems. First of all, it was rainy. And second of all, they're tearing up his whole street. I don't even think there's a sidewalk to visit right now. What a bummer is that? So we'll have to find a different time, Charlie, where either your sidewalk is fixed or maybe we find a different sidewalk and we can go read stories when it's also nicer out too. Let's see. Jair's here. All right. Good morning. Well, before we start learning new things today, we're almost done with this camouflage book. So let's look at the last ones and see if we can find any more critters camouflaged. Hi, Kellen. Okay. I think these are called black-eyed Susans, these kinds of flowers. They're pretty. Can you find an insect? It says, motionless on yellow, blooms I hide. Poison to strike, for days or weeks I lie. Lashing out, I quickly snatch the fly. Once again, I lie in wait for prey, blending in so well I can't be spied, till a careless fly alights nearby. Pierce its back and swiftly suck it dry. Camouflage and patience are my way. Can you see anything there? Let me zoom in different parts of it. You see anything? Also, look how cool this poem's written. It's written in like zigzags. I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Kind of look like spider's legs. Maybe this is a clue that it's telling me to look for a spider. Do you see one anywhere? Hi, Zane. You ready? What? There it was. It is a spider. Can you see it really blended in there? Holy cow, that's cool. This is called a crab spider. Crab spiders are so named because they move sideways like a crab. Are masters of ambush because they are masters of camouflage. Ambush means to like make a sneak attack. Because they are so well camouflaged, to ambush the fly means that they surprised him. They can't see him. Hi, Sadie. On yellow petals, a yellow crab spider is nearly invisible. As spring turns to summer and summer turns to fall, the crab spider scuttles to new hunting grounds, often changing colors to match the flowers of the new season. Look at them there. Just like in the fall, as the leaves and the flowers might just start turn brown, the spider does too, so that it can blend in. Isn't that cool? Wouldn't it be crazy if our hair changed color all on its own in the wintertime? That's bananas. Okay, got a few more. This one says, eyes on one side. I taste so delicious, the fisherman wishes to catch me and make me his meal. So upward I look in fear of a hook attached to a rod and a reel. I hear some clues. Catch, hook, rod, and reel make me think that this might be a fish and someone's trying to catch it. I can turn brown or tan as I lie belly down on the seafloor through low and high tide. Even stranger than that, I am totally flat with both of my eyes on one side. I once swam about like a bass or a trout till I made my home here on the bottom. When a small fry swims by, I am fast on the fly, and with one sudden move, I got him. You see him? We learned about this the other day, that flounder who lays face down. There he is. He looks just like the rocks on the bottom. This fish is called a flounder. A flounder has covered itself with sand. It lies on the ocean floor with only its bulging eyes sticking out. Spotting a small fish, the flounder darts out to catch it. The fish's sharp vision notices the color of the seabed and changes its skin color to match. In a matter of minutes, it can go from tan to gray or brown to black, while its belly stays white. Flounders are not born flat. As larvae, they have an eye on each side of its head and swim around just like other fish. I'll show you. But through metamorphosis, the larva's body flattens. As it grows into an adult, one eye migrates to the other side of its head and the fish moves to the ocean bottom. The flounder shown here is called a winter flounder or lemon sole. It has both eyes on the right side of its body. A larger flatfish, the summer flatfish, has eyes on the left side. Whoa, that is bananas. Can you see him here? Here's his mouth, and his eyes are on the top. His mouth is opening like this, and his eyes are on either side. Holy jeez. It's crazy to learn about animals. They can do so many cool things. Hi, Caleb. I think this is the last. Oh, there's two more. Okay, what do you think might be here? Look at the lines of the poem. It's called Serpentine. Does that give you a clue? Look at how they're wavy like that. What animal might you be looking for? Silently gliding, slithering, sliding, in the grass hiding. Sounds like a snake to me. Coiled and cunning, swift and stunning, on a rock sunning. Long and lean, smooth and green, serpentine. Do you see it? Where is it? Whoa, looks like a giant green bean. It's called a green snake. With its smooth green scales, the snake easily blends in with the grass and other plants of the meadow, forest, or garden. Camouflage helps it avoid becoming lunch for a coyote or a badger. And camouflage also helps the snake find its own lunch. Spiders, grasshoppers, worms, and caterpillars may not see it coming. This non-poisonous snake is not as secretive as many other snakes, but when you approach one, it will slip away for a short distance, then stop and sway gently like grass blowing in the breeze. So sometimes the animals look like their surroundings and they move their bodies to look like their surroundings too. Whoa. In the winter, green snakes hibernate in burrows and rock crevices. With warmer spring temperatures, they come out of hiding to mate. The females lay soft, leathery eggs in protected places such as hollow logs. Parents do not guard their eggs or look after their young. When a baby snake is ready to hatch, it cuts through the shell with a sharp egg tooth on the front of its head. Then it wriggles out and slithers off into the world. There he is, ready to slither into the world. Crazy. Okay, one more. Ooh, pretty. What is here? It says vagabond. Does anyone know what a vagabond means? Someone who doesn't really have a home. They move from place to place. And these words are just regular, so it doesn't give me a clue as to what I'm looking for. Vagabond. Do you see something? I'm now a forest vagabond, but I was born within a pond. I hatched from one of many eggs. I swam around. I had no legs. Sounds like how a frog is born, like a tadpole. I grew and changed to look like this. They call that metamorphosis. With lungs to breathe and legs to stand, I walk upon dry land. If you should see me on a hike, you may think I'm lizard-like, but I'm no reptile, think again. I'm really an amphibian. And we learned that an amphibian is an animal that can live on land and in the water, like a frog. Do you see it? What is it? Oh, it's a red spotted newt. And if you're listening to Matilda with me, this animal is gonna be very important in a few chapters. A newt, look at him. Newts, like all salamanders, are amphibious, which in Greek means double life. They begin life in the water and then change into a new form to live on land. This process is called metamorphosis. Red-spotted newts hatch from eggs laid in the ponds and streams of eastern North America. The larvae look like chubby greenish-brown fish with long legs, no tails, and bright red spots. They breathe through gills, just like frogs. After a few weeks, the larvae begin to grow legs and lungs, just like frogs. Their smooth, velvety skins turns orange or reddish-brown, and they crawl out of the water to live in the forest. During this phase, they are called red Fs because Fs and adults newts look so different. For many years, scientists did not realize that they were the same species. The F's skin contains toxic chemicals, and its bright colors warn away predators. Others, including raccoons, don't seem to mind the toxins. But on a forest floor littered with bright red leaves, a predator might have a hard time spotting a bright red eft. After several years, the forest-dwelling eft goes through another metamorphosis. It sheds its skin and turns olive green. Its leg shrinks and its tail thickens. Now it is an adult newt, and it returns to the water, possibly the very same pond where it hatched years ago, and it breeds and lays eggs, and the life cycle begins anew. So here it is when it's called an eft. And I bet it's an eft during the fall when the leaves are red and yellow and orange and it can camouflage there. Why do you think it turns green when it becomes an adult? What did you hear? It said to me that now he's an adult and it goes back to the pond to lay more eggs. And I think he can camouflage better in the pond when he's this color as opposed to this color. If you saw this swimming around in a pond, you'd see it right away. It's bright red. So I bet it changes its color when it's ready to go back to the pond to lay eggs, so it's camouflaged again. Super cool. All right, so I'm going to keep track of ways we've learned how animals protect themselves. And the first thing we learned is camouflage, blending into your surroundings. We're going to learn about a different way later today after we do a little grammar and a little math. Okay, so we've been learning about grammar. Grammar is the different parts of sentences. And so far we've practiced nouns. Nouns are the subject of the sentence. That means what's the sentence about? And we know that nouns can be people, Miss Quinlan, places, Miss Quinlan's room, things, Miss Quinlan's whiteboard, and animals. I don't have any pets, so a dog. So nouns are people, places, animals are things. And the next part of grammar we're going to learn is called a verb. Can you say that? Verb. And today we're going to specifically be talking about action verbs. An action verb is just like what it sounds like, something you do. We're all doing action verbs right now. Like I'm talking, you're listening. You might be writing, you might be sitting, you might be standing, you might be humming or singing. All of those are action verbs. And if you noticed, a lot of them ended in ing. They don't always, but a lot of times that they do. So an action verb is something that you're doing. Let's see if you can find an emoji of an action verb, something that someone is doing. Maybe look in the sports section. There's lots of action verbs there. Find an emoji of an action verb, something that someone is doing. Let's see what you come up with. What did Maggie choose here? Oh yeah, Maggie's got a runner. Running is an action verb. Very good. What other ones can you see? Let's see if I can find one. I'm going to go to the sports. How about this one? Oh, Jose's got bike riding. Yeah. I put swimming. Yep, playing football or playing hockey. Parasailing, that's cool, Penny. Yeah, those are all action verbs. Those are all action verbs. Very good. So when you're writing a sentence, most sentences, and you'll learn, as we always do, as we learn more and more things, that sometimes the rules don't always apply. But most of the time in a sentence you have a subject and a verb, something that the noun is doing. So I could write the sentence, Miss Quinlan is writing. The noun or the subject is me, and the action that I'm doing is writing. I could write a sentence about one of you. I could see Sadie typed a word, so I could say Sadie is typing. So the noun is Sadie, and the action verb is typing. That's what she was doing. Actually, your typing looks more like this, right? With your thumbs. Very good. Let's try to write a sentence with a noun and a verb. I'm going to give you the sentence and let's see if you can write it. A lot of the verbs are going to end in ing. Ready? Let's try this sentence. Let's write one about one of the animals. We can say, the frog is hiding on the leaf. The frog is hiding on the leaf. Let's see if you can write that. The frog. F-R-A-G. Frog. The frog is hiding. What you can do is first stretch out hide, h-I-d, and that add ing. It's a little tricky. I'll show you when we get there, if you don't know how to do it right now. The frog is hiding on the leaf. L-E-F, leaf. This is a vowel team word. That means two vowels are next to each other to make the sound E. L-E-F, leaf. Do you know which ones they are? The frog is hiding on the leaf. You ready? The, right? T-H-E. Frog. F-R-A-G. Frog. Is hiding. What's tricking about hiding, let me write it down here, is that hide is a magic E word, right? If we were just going to write hide, it would look like this. But when we add ing, we take off the E and then add the ing. I know it's tricky. So hiding is spelled H-I-D-I-N-G. Hiding. The frog is hiding. Oops, I added an extra word. That's why we got to double check. I don't need another is. The frog is hiding on the leaf. L-E-F, leaf. Very good. And E and A are going together in this sentence to say the sound E. Very good. So let's think about the parts that we know. Frog is a noun, right? That's what the sentence is about. The sentence is about the frog, and that's an animal, right? The other noun in this sentence is leaf. And leaf could kind of be considered two things right now. It's a thing, but it's also a place where the frog is. So these are the two nouns. I'll put a N here for noun. What is the frog doing though? He's hiding. That's the verb. That's the action that he's doing. He's hiding or he's camouflaging. So there are two nouns, frog and leaf. And the verb is hiding. The action verb is hiding. Very good. Tomorrow we'll practice a little bit more about verbs and nouns. Okay? Let's practice a little bit of math. So yesterday we were practicing adding up and down and counting the tens and ones. Today we're going to do something I bet most of your moms and dads learned how to do math this way, something called regrouping, which can be kind of confusing, but we're going to draw tens and ones to help us figure it out. Okay? So let's try. I'm going to make sure I give myself enough room to draw. 40. Now I can't remember which way numbers go because I'm writing them backwards all the time. And letters. I get confused now. Okay. Let's try 43 plus 58. This is tricky. So remember, when we're adding this way with numbers on top of each other, they have to be lined up. And we start with the ones first and then the tens, okay? But watch what happens. When I'm adding 3 plus 8, I could do it that way, or I could flip it because I usually like to start with a bigger number. 8 plus 3, 8, 9, 10, 11. Here's what's tricky. 11 looks like this, right? 2 ones. But these, I can't just write an 11 here like this because I have more than one group of 10. I have these group of 10s plus the group of 10 here from 11. So when I'm writing this number, I put the ones here and I put the 10s up here because now I'm going to add it with these. So now I have to do 4 plus 5 or 5 plus 4. So I'm going to do 5 plus 4 equals 9. Plus 1 more equals 10. And now I write the number 10 so that I have the number 101. Whoa, that's a lot. Let's look at what it looks like when we're drawing tens and ones, okay? So I'm going to draw 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so I have my tens and my ones. And when we're doing math this way, we're adding the ones first. So I'm going to add my 8 to my 3. And I know that 8 plus 2 equals another 10, right? And so then all I have left here is 1, 1. That's what went there. Right? And so now I can count on my tens. I have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And I write my 10 here. What that means is that now I have 10 groups of 10. So I have 100. I have 0 extra 10s. And I have 1, 1. Whoa. Let's try it again. That's called regrouping. Do you see how I grouped those ones into a group of 10? I regrouped them. I took them from their groups of 1 and put them in another group. Re means to do again. Okay? Hi, Thiago. Okay, let's try this again. Let's try 70. Actually, let me move it down so that there's room. We're going to do 77 plus 18. 77 plus 18. So 77 has 7 tens, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 7 ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 18 has 1 10 and 8 ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So remember, I'm adding one column. Column means going up and down. One column at a time. So I see 7 plus 8, or I can flip it to do 8 plus 7. And I know my doubles. So if I know 7 plus 7 equals 14, then 7 plus 8 equals 15. And so now I have to think about that number 15. I can only write ones over here. And in 15, there are 5 ones. But that 1 for the 10 didn't disappear. I have to put it with the other 10s. And the other 10s are over here, right? This picture. Now I have 3 numbers to add. See how I still have that 15? 15. But I had to put it with the other ones. And I couldn't put it here yet because that means I hadn't added it to these. So I'm going to do the same thing. I have 3 numbers, but I'm going to start with the biggest one. So I'm going to add 7 plus 1 equals 8. And 8 plus 1 equals 9. Very good. So let's see what that would look like in the picture. First I added the ones, and I see a group of 5 here and a group of 5 here. So I already know that that's a 10. And then I have 5 ones left over. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that's where my 5 went, see? Now I count the numbers of 10s. I have 7, 8, 9. So I have 9 groups of 10. Very good. I was able to double check it. And when you get the same thing 2 different ways, that means you for sure got it right most of the time. Very good. I know regrouping is tricky. But you know what's great about trying all of these different strategies, when you get to IXL or something on Math Score, if you like to add it up and down with regrouping like we're doing, that's great. If you like to draw 10s and 1s, that's great. You don't have to know how to do all of the strategies well. You do have to be able to figure out which ones help you, and then you can use that strategy whenever you get to tough math problems. So pick the ones that are best for you, and maybe you might not understand it now, but maybe you'll understand it later. Or maybe when you get to different problems, you'll see sometimes it's good to do this strategy, sometimes it's good to do this other strategy. And maybe you could try this with the graham cracker problem if you're working on that. Let's do one more before we learn a little bit more about how animals protect themselves. Let's try 26 plus 30. 26 plus 36. 26 plus 36. So I'm going to draw my 10s and 1s because that helps me to understand what I'm really doing. So I'm going to draw 2 10s for 20 and 6 1s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ooh, my nose is so itchy these days. Must be allergies. And then 36 has 3 10s, 10, 20, 30, and 6 1s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And remember, I like to draw in groups of 5 because then I can group them really quickly into 10s, and it helps me keep track and to know where I can group numbers. Okay, so if I'm adding with regrouping, I'm starting with the 1s. These are the 1s, and these are the 10s, and I'm adding down. So I know that 6 plus 6 equals 12, right? And in 12, the 2 is in the 1's place. So I put that there. And the 1 is in the 10's place. So I have to put it over here with the other 10s. Now I have 1 plus 2 plus 3. Well, I can add these quickly because I know that 1 plus 2 equals 3. And 3 plus 3 equals 6. So I have 62. Now let's check to see if that's correct. I have 2 groups of 6 here, and each group of 6 has a group of 5 inside it. So I can already see that there's another group of 10. So now I have 3 10s plus 2 10s equals 50, and 50 plus 1 more 10 equals 60, and then I count down my 1s. 61, 62. Nice job, you got it. Very good. You guys are doing some advanced math. This is like 2nd grade stuff, but I thought you would be ready for it. Very good. So give those a try on IXL today. If you're finding that your topics that are on the schedule are too easy, you can always try to skip to another level. That means right now, most of you, when you log in, it's on level C. But if you go underneath the green bar where it says learning and click on math, you can click on a level and you could look in a topic for level D, and you can look to see if there's adding two two-digit numbers, or you can start at the beginning at level D and work your way through and see which ones are just right for you. So if you're finding that the math that I assigned is too easy and you want to try something challenging, try to do that. You can also skip down a couple levels and try to work on time and measurement and comparing, because we didn't have a chance to work on those at school yet. And I'm trying to figure out a way how I can teach you time here, because the videos are backwards. So I'm still trying to think of a way how we can practice time together, because it'd be really confusing to learn time if you had to look at it backwards. So I'm still thinking about it. But if you want to get a head start on those topics, it's always nice to know a little of information before you start learning something new. Then you can follow along a little bit easier. So I don't want anyone to feel bored. You can click down until you find a topic that is just right for you. Okay, where'd my book go? Isn't it crazy how you can lose things when you've just been sitting in the same spot? Oh, here it is. Okay, here's the book Animal Defenses. And so far we learned, I should add something else to the list, because we learned about camouflage, but we also learned about building homes and tunnels, right? So that you have a place to escape. So I'll add that to the list. But here's what we're going to learn about today. It's called copycats. Look at this. A copycat, if someone calls you a copycat at school, it means they think that you're writing down someone else's answers. It means doing the same thing. Look at these two butterflies. They look almost exactly alike. This one says Viceroy butterfly, and this one says Monarch butterfly. So that tells me, even though they look exactly alike, they're two different kinds of butterflies. Let's see what the book tells us. Is being a copycat always a bad thing? Not if you're an animal. In fact, that's how many animals survive. They look and act like animals that make their predators sick. So predators stay away from both them and their poisonous look-alike. Whoa. The Viceroy butterfly looks like the Monarch butterfly, doesn't it? Birds find it hard to tell them apart. So do I. While the Viceroy is harmless, the Monarch is poisonous. Birds have learned to avoid eating both butterflies. They don't want to take a chance getting ill by eating the wrong one. Wow. So this butterfly is protecting itself by looking like this one, because this one's poisonous and birds don't want to eat it. But I can't tell them apart, so I wouldn't take my chance, and I wouldn't eat this one either, just to be safe. Look at these. This one's an ant, and this one's a spider. They look almost exactly alike. Many spiders copy ants, but it's not easy. Ants have 6 legs. Spiders have 8 legs. A spider must hold 2 of its legs in front of its head to look like antennae. It moves from side to side and scurries around like an ant. Why do spiders imitate ants if they have to work so hard at it? Birds and lizards eat spiders, but they don't touch ants. They know that ants bite, sting, and sometimes spray acid. Whoa, so look at this. See these ants' antennas here? This is the spider, and it's holding up its 2 legs to look like these antennas for 2 reasons. So that it looks like they have the same body parts, and so that he looks like he only has 6 legs. That's a lot of work to act like an ant. But other animals don't eat ants because they bite or spray them. So the spider thinks, if I look like an ant, they won't eat me either. And here we have a hoverfly and a bumblebee. They're a little bit easier to tell apart. Look at their different patterns. It says the hoverfly looks and acts like a honeybee. It drinks nectar from flowers and buzzes a warning when threatened. But the hoverfly is harmless. It has no sting. Luckily, birds don't seem to know this. They are fooled into thinking that the hoverfly is a harmful honeybee and leaves it alone. That's a pretty smart trick. Look at these here. This is a coral snake, and this is a king snake. Let's learn about them. At first glance, these two snakes look like twins, but they're not. The king snake is harmless, while the coral snake has a venomous bite. Venomous means it has poison in its bite. Animals can't tell the difference between them, so they stay clear of both. How can you tell the difference? This old saying might help. If red touches yellow, avoid the fellow. So that means this is the harmless one. And look, the red never touches the yellow. There's black in between. The saying says, if red touches yellow, avoid this fellow. Avoid means stay away. So here, look, the red touches the yellow on both sides. That means this one's the poisonous one. If red touches yellow, avoid this fellow. Stay away. Wowzers. So tomorrow we'll keep reading, and I have lots of cool books to show you about how animals protect themselves. Do you want to learn one more? Let's learn this one. Look at this. What do those look like to you? If this was a tree or some leaves, what do these look like? Big eyes of a big animal, right? Those are bigger than my eyes. That looks like something that's got to be way bigger than me. This says putting on a show. When resting on a branch, the eyed hawkmouth looks like a crumpled dead leaf. If a bird gets too close, the moth quickly uncovers its back wings. Suddenly, two huge eye spots stare out at the bird. They look as if they belong to an owl or a hawk. Now the bird wants to protect itself, and it makes a fast exit. Wow, so if you can see, these are the wings of the moth. See him here? And when he's resting and nothing's nearby, he closes his wings so each outside looks like the branch. And when he sees something that might come and eat him, he opens his wings up to look at these two big eyeballs. And then the bird thinks it's an owl or some other big creature that could hurt it, and it flies away. That is pretty cool. Animals are so cool to learn about. So let's add some things to our list here. How animals protect themselves. We've been learning about camouflage. We've been learning that they build homes for themselves. What did we learn about today? They pretend to be copycats. And what could we say? The book said putting on a show. But there are lots of other animals that have those fake eye spots. So I'm actually just going to write that. Fake eye spots. There's lots of animals who have markings on them that looks like eyes so that other animals think that they're a lot bigger than they actually are. So we've learned lots of ways that animals protect themselves. Camouflage, they build homes, they copycat other animals that are more dangerous than them, and they have these fake eye spots somewhere on their markings. Cool, cool, cool. I just love learning about all the cool things animals do. Okay, some of you I'm going to see in about 20 minutes, just enough to wiggle around, go get a snack. Charlie, Caleb, Esmeralda, Sadie, and Penny, we're going to do our small group today. And we're going to read some books and think about maybe a little assignment you guys can do at home. And then everybody else I'll see back at 1 o'clock. Today, Miss Albin is going to join us. And she's going to do a little drawing activity with us. So if you have some paper and some art supplies nearby, it can be anything, crayons, markers, colored pencils. She's going to join us at 1. Okay? I'll see some of you in a little bit, and I'll see the rest of you at 1. Bye, everybody.